This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening. A 23-year-old man from Alberta is facing an aggravated assault charge after an incident in North Battleford over the weekend. RCMP received a call that a 21-year-old man was being treated in hospital for several stab wounds on Saturday morning. The victim was treated for deep cuts to his head and neck. The accused was found unarrested in the cut knife area on Saturday afternoon and remains in custody. He was also wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for a parole violation. And one man has been seriously injured after an armed robbery that happened in Lac La Biche Saturday night. Police are still investigating after a man robbed the attendant at a Petro-Canada gas station at gunpoint. Frazer Snowdon has more.
The brazen robbery happened around 10:30 Saturday evening. Lac La Biche RCMP say a man walked into Petro-Canada on Main Street brandishing a handgun and demanded money from the store clerk.
It's pretty scary, like thinking that that person, the one who was responsible for it, was so close, with really no regard for another human.
Police attended as well as emergency medical services and learned that the 40-year-old male clerk or staff member inside the store had been robbed and been severely assaulted, suffering serious injuries, and that the male suspect had a firearm in his possession.
Police say the suspect got away with an undisclosed amount of cash after injuring the store clerk. The man disguised himself at the time of the robbery, but they want you to be on the lookout for a man that fits this description.
For somebody between 5'6" and 5'8", we have an unknown ethnic origin or ethnic background. He's wearing a black hoodie with a green monster type logo on it. Had some green and gray stripes on the bottom of around the waistband. He's also wearing black pants and was wearing black shoes with white soles.
Now, the incident happened on the main street of Lac La Biche, which has 4 gas stations in the area. Neighboring businesses say this is just a little too close for comfort.
We were just closing up the store, locking up the front door, and we saw the police coming down Main Street. And we looked to see where they were going, and we could see Petro-Canada, and they were pulling in there.
The male attendant is still being treated at an Edmonton hospital. If you have any information that can help with this investigation, call the Lac La Biche RCMP or Crime Stoppers. In Lac La Biche, Frazer Snowdon, Newcap News.
A local teacher has returned from Africa after 3 years and is looking for support for her group. Hands at Work is based in South Africa and works with struggling communities to get them back on track and become self-sufficient. Kristal Hoff was born in Lloydminster and has spent 3 years volunteering in Africa, helping communities to help themselves.
A lot of these communities need a lot of support and mentorship and just to feel like they're not alone, that people are rooting for them and rallying around for them.
After returning from Africa, Hoff spent a semester teaching at Lloyd Comp High School, where she helped start a student group that raises thousands of dollars a year for kids in Africa. Hands at Work still needs funding, however, as they're trying to build a vehicle for their care workers.
Sometimes it's up to 60 kilometers to bike there, and it takes them 3 hours to get there, and so a lot of their time is actually spent on the road biking instead of, walking with these care workers and visiting people in their homes and trying to inspire and encourage what's happening in the communities.
And if you'd like to make a donation, you can visit handsatwork.org. The Border City Leisure Centre opened today. The centre was closed for a month for annual maintenance and upgrades.
Some of the projects that we did do would be our sound baffle replacements. We did extensive tiling, cleaning, and just some annual upkeep to the building.
Other things that were attended to were the tile repairs on a pool basin, pool sanitization, and interior paint work. These repairs are mandatory to keep the facility up to date and make the pool better for patrons.
We do have a few new programs for water aerobics. So we have Parent and Taught is one example that was a huge hit. All the new programs can be found online and can be registered for online as well.
We'll also have an inflatable obstacle course for the public to try, as well as a wave pool, hot tub, and other amenities. The center is hosting a welcome back blast this Saturday at 1 to 4 p.m.